guys, and welcome to the Blackburn vs Sunderland match preview. Now, in the last video at the end of the review, in the last one, I did say my sort of Merry Christmases. I said my sort of best wishes and all the best messages to you guys. Totally forgetting that I still have a preview to do for this game, so I will say it again. Of course, I hope you all do have an absolutely amazing Christmas, spending time with loved ones, family, friends, have an absolutely amazing time. But of course, the most important thing isn't Christmas. It's what happens on Boxing Day, where 7,000 plus Mackhams will be making their way to Ewood Park, myself included. I cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I genuinely just want to skip past Christmas. Couldn't care less. It's just one of those days when you get a big away day like that, you just couldn't care less about anything else. But of course, I do wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. And it'd be even better if we do manage to get 3 points on Boxing Day. But it isn't going to be as easy as that. I say every preview, every game in the Championship has its own challenges, its own difficulties. But Blackburn, it's going to be one of our biggest challenges in recent weeks. Of course, we're currently in 4th place. They're in 5th. We've currently got, I think it's a 5 or 6 gap ahead of them, and they do have a game in hand. But with a win here, not only would it be a statement from ourselves, but it'd also but it would help stretch the gap between ourselves and 7th place, which for me is a huge point to try and hit this season. I'm not too sure exactly how many points that would be. I don't know historically how many you really have to hit before you at least get bare minimum playoffs. I'll have to look into that. But that gap is stretching, and the only way we can keep on stretching it is by picking up points and winning games. And Blackburn at the minute, last time out they did get beat 1-0 against Millwall, but prior to that they went 6 games unbeaten and they won all 6 of those games. They went on an incredible run, and I thought, shit, we're playing them soon. And I did have it in the corner of my eye. I thought, they're going to wipe the floor with us, because they looked absolutely outstanding during that winning run, where they beat the likes of Borough, Leeds, and of course others as well, Luton. Some really good teams in there, and they pushed them aside, and they played really, really well. They managed to pick up a defeat last time out, as I say, so maybe we've just met them at a point of a turn in form, possibly, but that's me wishful thinking. Of course, with the pre-match presser I've recently watched with Regis Labrie, he discussed injuries, how we're going to approach this game, and I do quite like his attitude when he is asked, when you come up against different teams, against the likes of Blackburn, who have generally been in very good vein of form, do you have to kind of adjust your tactics to the opposition and stuff like that? He said, yeah, there's a little bit of that. He said, but the majority of thinking has to go on how we're going to approach the game and how we're going to stretch our strengths as opposed to try and nullify their weaknesses, which is very bold, but I do quite like it. It's very ballsy from Regis. So I did quite like him saying that kind of that kind of thing. In terms of injuries, you probably know by now, but Dan Ballard, he did pick up an injury at the back end of last game, and I thought it might have been a little bit of something, nothing too much, but it looks like it's going to be 2 weeks bare minimum, which is very, very frustrating. But thankfully for us, we do have a lot of key players in that area ready to jump in, so I'm not too gutted. I have seen a few people sort of almost jokingly wanting Leo Hjelde to be put in, because I don't know whether you've seen the Sunderland social media content recently, particularly over the Christmas period, the festive period. We really get to see a bit of insight into the personalities of the players. Usually, or sometimes you just look at the players as robots. They go out on 3 p.m. on a Saturday and they do the business. They don't hear from them again. But with the sort of social media channels, they're doing really well, doing sort of like quizzes and games and stuff like that. And Leo Hjelde just seems to have personality in abundance. And something I've said anyway, sort of more so off camera, is when you do see the little clips on social media throughout the year, everyone seems to be like Leo Hjelde's best mate, which I know it sounds like it's patronising towards him, because I don't think he's an awful player. He hasn't had a great start at this time with Sunderland, but everyone seems to love him. He seems to just have this personality about him that everyone wants him around, and everyone seems to be his best mate. Do you know what I mean? So he's clearly very, very well liked, and he's only really got the sort of last 3-4 minutes of a game, sort of 1 in sort of 4 games we've chucked him on for the last sort of 30 seconds of a game, where he hasn't really put a foot wrong, but he hasn't really even had the chance to put a foot wrong, if that makes sense. But I think because his personality started showing videos, which was my original point, a lot of people have been sort of almost semi-sarcastically wanting him to start because Dan Ballard is now injured, which, I wouldn't be totally against it. It'd be a nice Christmas present for the lad. But on a serious note, I will go on to my preferred 11. This is how my preferred 11 does look, and I think this is probably what we are going to go with anyway. So Patterson in goal, Sirkin 09 to jump in for Ballard, with Mepham as well, and Hume at right back. There's a chance that he might stick 09 at right back and prefer 09 to Hume at right back and put Agiolesi in the centre. You never know. But then in the middle, I'll put Dan Neil, Job and Rig. Of course, the trio that just can't be dropped because we have no one else. But yeah, they've had a bit of time now. It'd be nice to see them as well. Put Roberts on one side, Mayenda on the other. And I've been complaining, about Easter up top. He's had a really difficult run of games last time out. As I mentioned in the review, it was by far and away for me his worst performance in a Sunderland shirt. However, Mayenda and Roberts, although I think Mayenda had an indifferent game last time out. I saw some people say he was amazing, some said he was shit. I think he started incredibly well. Then he went and nosedived in performance for a huge chunk of the game, and then towards the back end, he was brilliant again. But with Mayenda, I always forget, and I probably do need to critique myself a little bit here. I forget how young he is. He's still only 18 years old, 19, whatever he is, and he's still growing, he's still learning. He's getting thrown from pillar to post, been centre forward, striker, left wing, right wing. He's been thrown everywhere, and he's done somewhat of a job. And there's been players in the past that when we put them there, they'll just kind of shy away. And at the very least, he is contributing. He's looking dangerous, and I do appreciate that. And what I did like in the last game is, for the first time we saw Roberts and Mayenda chop and change. They rotated every sort of 20 minutes or so. And Roberts looked brilliant on the left-hand side. And Mayenda, like we keep on saying, is infinitely more impressive and more dangerous. On the right-hand side, he's more comfortable there. So that's why I would like to remain with those two wingers. Isidore, I just don't know who else I would put up top. I wouldn't really fancy Rusyn. I think he'll be gone in January, so it'll be the point. Connolly, I don't know what's going on with him. He's barely getting on even off the bench. He had a string of games, didn't he, where he struggled at first and then got himself a goal, picked up a knock, and then we just didn't see him again. He's been back for a long time, but we're just never using him. So I think this is likely going to be the starting 11. As I said, the only change I might see, or I could possibly see, is maybe 09 at right back and Alessi next to Mepham in the middle. But this is probably the one I'd be most comfortable with. Of course, let me know in the comments down below what you think and what you would go with as well. But it's that time again. It's the score prediction time. I think I've got the last couple correct. I could be totally wrong there. I think I at least got the last one right. I think I said that we're going to go goal down, then we're going to score a couple. I'm hoping it isn't going to be as difficult this time, and we're not going to make it as difficult for ourselves. It is going to be a really, really hard one. My head is saying draw, because they're really difficult to play against Blackburn. They're really, really difficult, and they're so solid as well. So I don't think we're going to get a string of clear-cut chances. I'd be very, very surprised if we do get that. And they're very good on the counter-attack as well. They look after the ball well, so it's going to be a very tight affair. In my head, I've almost got a 2-2 draw. But I'm going to go for a crazy game, and I'm going to go for a 3-2 Sunderland win. I think we're going to go a goal up. We're going to concede. It's going to be 1-1. Blackburn are going to make it 2-1. We're going to make it 2-2. And then it's going to be Isidore to break his duck, to make it 3-2 and send the 7,000 Mackhams in the away end into absolute bedlam and send them home with 3 points. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But yeah, that's wishful thinking, but that would be an amazing game to see. It'd give me a bit of a heart attack, maybe a heart scare, but we take a 3-2. We'll see. I could be drastically wrong here because I think we approach this game the wrong way, and there's every opportunity that we could get absolutely floored by Blackburn. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-2 win. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the score is going to be. But there we go, guys. If you enjoyed, smash the like button for me. It's always so appreciated. And if you are new, hit the subscribe button. There's so many of you guys, I've said it for the last couple of months now, there's literally like 50%, 60% of you guys that are still watching regularly every time there's a video out, and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet. It means a lot. It really, really does. But for now anyway, take care. Merry Christmas. Stay jammy. Away the lads.